You saw the story of Sharon Otieno.
Yes.
As perhaps a mum and as a Kenyan. Your thoughts on this story? Now the latest development is that Sharon could have been raped. She was 7 months pregnant, if I remember correctly, and she had two other kids prior to that. Your thoughts?
It's very unfortunate. The first time I heard about it was like a fairy tale. In fact, I saw it on the social media. I did not pay much attention because when I read it, I thought somebody transferred a story from another place. Mm-hmm. Yet, these days, things that we never imagined have now caught up with us. Mm-hmm. We are now seeing things that we never imagined. Mm-hmm. The stories that are coming up, first of all, we do not know the truth. And we don't want to speculate. I know the authorities are already on it, trying to find out the depth and the root where it is. And today, I've just seen it here, that she may have been raped. That is even more disheartening as a mother. And there's a lot of blame game. There are people blaming parents. Maybe the parents are not teaching their children. Some people are blaming the girls, that some girls are too ambitious.
And Bichachi, that's the problem right there. The fact that now society seems to be blaming women, and for this specific scenario, which was turned out to be a murder case, there's no way around it. She was murdered. Now we're blaming her. One, for having a sponsor. Two, if you also read her own story, and hence why you were saying she was too ambitious. She came from a sort of, to say, poor background, you know. So she was the one who had to fend. This specific story goes on to say she had problems even paying for her school fees.
Instagram. The philosophy of the Kenyan has become Instagram.
But we can't blame her death on Instagram.
No, I'm getting somewhere. As a society, I'm not talking about the specific death of Sharon. That is obviously evil, and anyone who can't see it evil is blind and stupid. However, the problem with Kenyan society is we want to live an Instagram life. How many people want to commit suicide, but you look at their pictures, they're at the beach smiling? Why? Because we live in this world where we want to impress everybody, and everybody wants to be wealthy, and no one has ever had a path to success that is legitimate. Every person that we know is extremely wealthy. We know that they came from selling fish to becoming billionaires. And you, when you try and sell fish, the only thing you can afford is your mad hat. That is the problem with Kenyan society. So what is happening to our young people, male and female? A lot of the young men are now selling drugs. A lot of the young men are now being sponsored by older ladies. A lot of the young ladies are being sponsored because there is no legitimate path to success. You see, the part of the issues the government should be addressing is every year, for example, we have 1,000 medics that graduate. 1,000 medics who for the last 3 years have not been employed. Okay? So that level of intelligence added to nothing to do. What do you expect they will do? So as a society, we need to come to the point where we don't need to blame the Sharons or the governors of the day. We as a society need to sit down and realize that we are thieves, we are immoral, we have no principles, we have no ethics, and for as long as that is the case, those with power will try and abuse and rape those who do not, and those who do not will try to kill and murder to succeed. That is how it is in every society that is copying what Kenya has done. It is true in Brazil, it is true in the streets of Chicago, it is true in Zaire, it's true in the poor parts of Russia. So we cannot run away from the fact that this young lady in university is staring at an abyss called graduation, where there is no hope of getting employment. This young man is looking at an abyss called graduation, where there is no hope for self-improvement. If we do not give them hope, they will steal, they will kill, they will get sponsors. Why? So that they can get that Instagram picture that looks just right.
Okay, Honorable Mutambu, your thoughts on the aspect of this will now really put to test the Director of Criminal Investigation, the body in itself, to see whether they can truly come down to do proper investigations on such a scenario. Idris Mkutara's death as well. Your thoughts on that?
You see, what I always believe, I don't know why I believe in our police. I have a lot of faith in our investigating team. What I don't know is what happens behind the scene, you know, and behind the curtains. What do I mean when I say behind the curtain? What really happened? And the truth, once truth comes out, everybody would want to cover it, including the so-called witnesses. I wish people would come out and say, because such a thing to happen, 1 or 2, 3 people knew about it. I wish those who knew about it would come out. The officers would get the lead, would get all the clues, but maybe Mutambo was near and is not willing to say, yes, I saw it. So that the DCI or the DPP can get a conviction of the person who did this. Without having proper evidence to nail somebody, I'll tell you it will go round and round and round.
Right.
We have had so many cases. The Sharon case is not the first one. We had so many. We had a girl who was pushed somewhere on the road. Somebody pushed that girl. And nobody came out and say, you know, I was coerced or I was paid or I was maybe told by so-and-so to do this. And that person is still in the street, right? Somebody was linked to it. I'm not saying that that person is guilty or so to speak, but we don't get the evidence. So many people have been murdered. Forget about cars, even men, they've been killed. But do we really get the evidence? Because we do not speak. The society, like what my friend is saying, our society is not telling that we have lost the moral. We do not have the moral. When I